Hola, mis amores. I'm going to do this as a video, upload it to Nearpod, and, keep it going. This goes along with your Para Empezar unit packet. So make sure that you are following the guided notes. It's the last 3 pages. The title says Guía de Cómo Conjugar. Guía de Cómo Conjugar. And you're going to see at the top it says Instrucción, subraya. Just ignore that. As I go along, I'll tell you where to stop, go to your unit packet, look for the thing that looks like this, and all those great instructions. For now, el objetivo de la lección, the objective of today's lesson, moment, video. So you will learn how to conjugate a verb. Right now, you probably haven't known that that word means. Conjugate is to change pretty much a verb to make sure that it is matching the appropriate subject, the person who's doing the action. Students will learn just the regular, nothing too fancy, nothing crazy, just the regular present tense. Describe what's currently happening or repeatedly that happens. And students will form frases completas with the correct present tense AR conjugation. They pretty much don't have to be like these excellent, super wonderful, life-changing sentences, but we will learn how to structure basic complete sentences and complete ideas. So let's get started. Okay, so if you remember this, sorry, from last class, I asked you okay, looking at this picture, who works at the mall and who hates puppies, and Qiang swims in the winter and Qiang speaks French, and you took some guesses because you're all nice people, but there's in essence no way of knowing, right? Because in English you're gonna need the names. So once I told you who did it, that's when you know who does the action. But leaving it alone, like works at the mall, works only tells me what the action is. It doesn't give me any other information. Okay, that's not the case in Spanish. So looking at these, hopefully they look like the vocab we've been going over, like estudiar, dibujar, hablar, practicar. They're just slightly different. These verbs do tell me the information. So we are looking at the highlighted words. As you notice, they are different. We are focusing on what makes them different and how to interpret them. Okay, so yeah, that estudio looks like estudiar, but why did we change it? Dibujar does look like dibujar, but why did we change it? Hablamos does look like hablar, but why did we change it? Okay, so those changes are super important and makes this sentence make sense. So in English, the sentence is saying, hello, my name's Carmen. In my school, I study a lot. My friend Sarah draws in her art class. My friends and I talk in the cafeteria. And my friends Elena and Rosa, they play sports after school. So that's her giving her information about herself and her friends, de ella y sus amigas, and those verbs match that. So let's make a match. I don't know why it says present and not presents, but I am not going to re-record, so let's keep it moving. Okay, to mark time. Looking at this, let's look at those things in green. It says Sarah shopped for a shirt, Sarah shops for a shirt. You have Sarah, and then you have for a shirt. That structure is the same. But when you look at the way shop is spelled, you have the past, you have the present, apparently, and you have the future. Okay? If I say shopped, most things in English, you add an ED, it's the past, the present is what it is. And the future will have probably the word like will. And if you look at the Spanish, it's structured the same. Okay? The difference being these ways the verb changes. That's what conjugating is. It is that underlined O with an accent, that A that's underlined, that ara that's underlined. That is conjugation. Learning to change your verb to know who's doing it. This was all Sarah. Well, in this case, this is, I remember this. It says Sarah, but I put Maria. Apparently, this Sarah in Spanish is Maria. Anyways, it's Maria, Maria, Maria. This is all Maria, but 3 different letters. Like, why? If it's all Maria, just why Spanish? Why are you complicating our lives? It's really not. Those different letters and accents change up the time frame that something's happening, okay? It's still Maria doing all of it, but it's Maria in her past, present, and future. Oh, Maria, you've really come a long way. You're continuously buying a shirt. Okay, that thing is off. Indicating subject, meaning in English, all this is right. I still don't know who did it though. I write, you write, she writes. I'm gonna need the subject written, okay? Otherwise, you have the word right and it's weird. It doesn't tell me anything. In Spanish, though, this comes from bailar, to dance. But based on these endings, I know who's dancing. That, like, bailar, the way it's changed, I know. And I don't need to write the I don't need to write the you, I don't need to write any of that over again. My verb tells me everything I need to know. My verb is special. Okay? When I see bailo, I know I must be doing it. No one else. That lets me know I'm a darn good dancer. Okay? Must be you. Okay? Bailas, I'm probably asking other people, like, hey, I'm fantastic. I dance really great. Bailo muy bien. ¿Tú bailas bien? Do you dance? Because then nosotros, we can dance together. Podemos bailar o bailamos juntos. Okay, this is the magical table. If you have seen this magical table, I'm very happy for you. If you have not, you will you will get comfortable and sick of it. Okay, this is your conjugation table. It is how you change your verb. It is how you show the change. It's how you map the change. It's how you structure the change. We are going to work with this magical table in this presentation. So we've gone over these, but just to refresh your memory, yo is about yourself. Anything I do. Tú is when you're talking to someone. Well, no, actually, I remember this. Usted, someone fancy, you're having a conversation with them. Él, ella, he, she. Nosotros, we. Ustedes talking to a group of people, like I, always speaking ustedes to you all. I dominate the ustedes form. Ellos, a group of any male mix, and ellas, strictly females. This is where your guided notes comes in. So you have that packet, and at the end, it has this wonderful chart that looks just like this. You could title it, but it doesn't really mean much. You can leave that alone. You don't have to write it, but quickly to explain, all this means is anything on this side of the chart, like if you're given, like if you have to conjugate and only one person is doing the action, then this is the only side of the chart you're looking at. If you see just one girl sitting there, you're not even looking at the next chart. They're just focusing on either it has to be yo, tú, usted, él, or ella, when there is only one person involved. Now, if you have to fill in a blank and there's multiple names or we're referring to multiple people, like members of a team, there's only two options. Either you're involved, nosotros, or it's other people, ellos, ellas. And this is saying that anything at the top is about yourself. You see how Joe is literally I, like myself, and nosotros includes you with another person. The top is all about yourself. The second person is saying you're having a conversation with someone, like you're directly talking, like they're in front of your face or through the phone, with modern technology, and you're like saying, do this, do that, you have this, you have that. Like it is a conversation. And third person means they're just not in the room. I don't know why the usted and ustedes was circled again. It should have just been el, ella. But again, I'm not re-recording. Okay. So you should know these. We went over them. They're the most popular verbs, my darlings. Go ahead and try to fill that in. I guess you can put me on pause. What do you think these are? Without you looking at your unit packet, you most likely will. But I would challenge you. If you know these without looking at your unit packet, you're pretty darn great. And if you don't, then you have the potential to be great once you study. So put me on pause, fill it in. And when you unpause me, you're going to check your answers. Or you're just going to fill it in once the answers pop up. That's a personal choice. So, darlings, what I expected you to know is these. You should have seen dancing and nude, obviously, is bailar. Listening and obviously, escuchar. The point being, all verbs in their basic form end with either AR, ER, or IR. If you're in my classroom, you've seen the backboard. I underline those endings. As you have been writing activities, you should have noticed that they all end with AR, ER, IR. So, AR, ER, ER. These are your verbs. When you get new vocab and it ends with this, it's most likely a verb. Don't, this was for a different, don't even worry about that. Now this, okay? Let's say I want to say Maria listens to music, right? Maria's like, obviously not paying attention to the teacher. Maria's the worst. So she has her little AirPods in. I hope this video doesn't get too old. There's going to be something different besides AirPods in the future. Anyways, we have Maria and Musica, and I want to specifically know that Maria is the one listening to music. So I have my subject, Maria, mi sujeto. Tengo mi sustantivo. Don't worry about that word right now, but just pretty much the other half of the sentence. Just think of it like that. Now, I want to know that Maria's doing it. So hopefully you know to listen is escuchar. So this is called dia. It stands for drop. So you're going to drop your ending. Your ending is the aere, the thing that I underlined before. Okay, so you're going to drop your ending. I means identify. Okay, Maria's the one doing it. And so you add. This is where the wonderful chart comes in. What do you add? So far, I know that Maria is doing the action. So far, I know I have to take off my ending. This is where that comes in. I should have finished up with Maria. Maria will linger in your heads. But let's continue. Julio draws in art class. Ay, Julio, tú eres tan artístico. Julio es un chico muy artístico. And Julio draws in art class. So these are the endings. This is why you need to know that yo means I and tú means you, that you're talking to a friend, and usted and ella means those people over there, or that girl or that boy. It's not an A just because it's a girl. It's just another person. Nosotros, amos. These are the endings you need to know. If you know we, then you should know amos. So let's just go through this. Always remember dia. Drop, identify, add. Drop your ending, identify who we're talking about, add the right ending for it to match your subject. So we have Julio draws in art class. So hopefully you know draws is dibujar. What do you drop? Your ending. You're left with dibuj. Identify. We're talking about Julio. My name is not Julio, okay? So you should not even be looking at yo. There's no quotation marks. Nothing in this context tells me I'm talking to Julio. You're not looking at tú. I'm not drawing with Julio. My artwork sucks. I'm in music class. So it's not nosotros. And it's only Julio. First of all, it's only Julio. So your options were going to be on this side anyways. You don't see any other name. But it's definitely not other people. So it's not that one, okay? So the only one you're left with is this one of usted, él, ella. Julio is a common boy's name. So the answer would be él. Okay? I'm talking about él. Knowing that, I need to add the only letter that survived my X marks, the letter A. And so this becomes Julio dibuja en la clase de arte. From dibuja, I know Julio is the one that's drawing. Okay? I wonder if I go, okay, the thing is gonna still, give me 1 second to erase. There had to be a better erasure than that. Don't look at me. This is embarrassing. Okay, so now I ride a bike. Okay, hopefully, and this is why I was always picky about this. It's not bicicleta. Bicicleta is the bike. It's not the activity, okay? It's obviously not bicicleta. But I ride a bike. It should be yo blank en mi bicicleta. And hopefully you know ride as montar. You drop your ending. Your ending being the AR, the ER, the IR. Montar happens to be an AR verb, so drop the AR. Identify who you're talking about. It literally says I. And if you know your subject pronouns, you know I means yo. With that being said, you just have to add your ending. There's the yo. You see that the O is next to it. You're putting an O. You have mont because you dropped your ending, and you put the O, monto. And that's the answer. Yo monto mi bicicleta en el parque. That's how you say I ride my bike in the park. However, like I told you, you really don't need the yo. Any Spanish speaker or anyone who understands Spanish definitely knows if you say monto mi bicicleta from monto, just from monto, I know I'm the only one riding my bike. If someone comes up to me or if I'm calling, I'm like, hey, what are you all doing? And they're like, ay, monto mi bicicleta. I guess they're really talented if they're riding their bike and talking to me on the phone. But either way, monto mi bicicleta. I don't need them to say yo. I know that if I hear that, oh, that the person is saying I'm the one doing it. Okay. Now, to quickly put, so this is where your unit packet comes in. Actually, should have came in before. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go back so that you know that I ride my bike. Well, Maria listens to music. You can switch that out for I ride my bike, and these are kind of the steps. So you know how one, two, three should say drop, identify, add, and the one that's like boxed, and then at the end, the one should have mont, mont, and then number two, the not boxed ones. The boxed ones. Oh gosh. Anyways, I'll post a picture of anything, but you can skip that. But pretty much, I ride my bike like this process that we went through. If you can write it in the proceso de conjugar, it's the second to last page. And then we have the chart at the bottom. Escribe el proceso de conjugar. It has hablar tú, practicar yo, and cantar nosotros. And I literally have it in the chart there. So fill in this chart. I'm going to walk you through it now as you fill it in. So you have your table there. Drop. It is hablar. What do I drop? I drop my ending. The AR goes away. Now I need to know who I'm talking about. If it says you, it means I'm talking to a friend. Tú. Knowing I'm having a conversation with a friend, I'm pretty much talking. I'm like, do you speak Spanish? Oh, then you're going to help me. Do you know French? Do you speak Italian? You speak really well, or you speak awful. I don't know. But you're having a conversation with someone, okay? That knowing that you're talking to them, I need to hear that hablas. ¿Hablas español? ¿Hablas francés? ¿Hablas italiano? Do you, do you, do you? Practicar. Drop my ending. I know I means yo. Knowing that I'm trying to say I play sports or I play football or I play soccer, which ironically is the same word, or I play basketball. Practico fútbol. Practico fútbol, which is fútbol americanos, your pigskin football. Fútbol is soccer y yo practico basketball o baloncesto. Last one, take off your ending, cantar. We know nosotros is doing it because we know we means nosotros. And the ending, you look at your chart, should be cantamos. Okay? Cantamos en la clase de música. We sing in a music class. Cantamos en el carro. We sing in the car. Okay, so pause this here. If the Nearpod lets you pause, I hope it does. And then fill in the chart. Yay. Okay, a practicar. We have Jose and dancing. How do we say Jose dances? Think about that before, it continues. I guess put on pause if you want to think of the answer, or if maybe your mind is amazing and you instantly thought, well, who Jose baila, obviously, and that would be it. It wouldn't be Jose bailo because that's Jose I dance, which is weird. Those are two different people we're talking about. So it's like, wait, who dances what? That's gonna confuse someone who speaks Spanish. If I want to express to someone that yo soy tan talentosa, like I'm so talented, I'm amazing, right? Like yo canto, yo bailo, yo toco una guitarra, or yo toco la guitarra, I play the guitar. And you don't need the yo. As soon as you tell someone toco la guitarra, they know you're the only one who's freaking doing it. Sorry, I'm very expressive. Okay, now we have Gabi Raul. I have to say this picture. Gabi freaks me out. Her eyes are scary. Anyways, Gabi and Raul are using the computer. We should know use the computer as usar la computadora. You have usar. You drop that AR. Gabi and Raul. Well, my name's not Gabi. That's not on my birth certificate. So it's not Joel. I'm not talking to them, or at least nothing tells me I'm talking to them. So it's not ustedes exactly. It's not one person, and I'm not included. So it has to be the ellos form. Knowing that, I know ellos ends with an, so I'm going to say Gabby y Raúl usan las computadoras. Oh, don't do this. This is the paper activity. We're going to leave that alone. I'm just going to get through this. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. But if you want to look at it online, like, do you? Okay, so now this is in the packet. Go ahead and try that on your own. Please don't just let the video play and write the answers down. What do you learn or what do you understand about your knowledge? If all you'll do is copy it down, because guess what? When you have a test, that's not going to be an option, okay? You're going to actually have to fill in. Nothing magically tells you the answer, or at least it shouldn't, because that's called cheating. Anyways, fill this in, put me on pause, try your best. If you get it wrong, just cross it out and put the answer somewhere else. Use your eraser. Try this on your own. I'm gonna shut up now. Pause, fill it in, play it to reveal the answer. Okay, I'm assuming that you have unpaused. So, Lupe and Guillermo, you're all brilliant. I'm not Lupe or Guillermo. So you should know, well, I'm on the plural side of the chart. I'm on the chart that only has either nosotros or the ustedes, ellos, ellas form. I'm not involved, so it must be ellos. If you don't know, Guillermo is a male associated name. It's actually William in Spanish. It's weird, I guess. Well, no, I don't guess. We don't do the. Anyways, I digress. We don't do W's in Spanish, but anyways. So Guillermo and Lupe, blank en la clase de arte. So now you have to make a logical guess. If it's la clase de arte, I'm gonna assume dibujar. So you're gonna say ellos di fudge. Okay, I guess I did not work on this animation well, but I'm not re-recording. So these are the answers. If there's one that you did not understand, like where did it come from? How did she get this? This is not what I got. This makes no sense. Please feel free to ask me or a friend next to you, or just, check with me afterwards. But if you're like, oh, that's why, then that moment of reflection, man, it is priceless. So this is what you should have gotten. Okay, tú usas la computadora en la clase de tecnología. You use your computer in technology class. Yo necesito una calculadora y una carpeta para la clase de matemáticas. I need a calculator and a folder for math class. Tomás y yo practicamos deportes en la clase de educación física. Thomas and I play sports in gym class. ¿Quién enseña la clase de ciencias naturales? Oh, this might have been hard because I don't think y'all know necesitar and enseñar. But it's not really that difficult because the same way you Google dumb TikTok things, you could have Googled necesitar and would have known that's need. I don't feel bad for you. Okay, so these are acts to put in Spanish. If I'm honest, I don't remember why I have after and to highlighted. I guess it's to tell you what it means or assume you didn't know, or you can look it up. But after is después and tú is, tú, you actually should know as también. So this one, hopefully the animation is good, but I'm looking for a frase completa. Susana es una chica trabajadora. Write the subject, write the verb in its conjugated form, and the word after. So ella, who I'm talking about, estudiar is the verb. You change it to estudia mucho después de la clase. Try the next two. Pause this. Try the next two on your own. See if you get it right. I'm not going to wait for the pause. I'm assuming you unpaused. And if you have the following, fantastic. You should have known that bailar and cantar should have been changed to bailan and cantan because I'm talking about her amigas talentosas, her talented friends. Okay, follow the message I left on which activities to do afterwards to check your understanding and to practice. And this is a light introduction to conjugation. Do I think after one video you're super amazing and got this? Of course not. But at least the explanation somewhat was introduced, and we will obviously be working with it some more. All Spanish is this year is you learning a bunch of new verbs. And what you will do is conjugate them, okay? You will learn words like to. This video might be shown in 8th grade too, but if this is mostly for 9th grade. So you'll learn words like, What's that first unit? Oh, to pay attention. And it's prestar atención. And you change prestar. I pay attention, presto atención. You pay attention, prestas atención. You're just getting a bunch of new vocab. As long as you know how to change that verb and what yo, tú, él, ella, you're going to be fantastic. Ustedes son unos estudiantes fantásticos y muy inteligentes y ustedes pueden estudiar y leer el vocabulario. Yeah. Okay, do the work. You're amazing. Bye.